Let's see, art fight starts... Oh! Art fight starts tomorrow. And maybe some of you need some ideas for your attacks. Fear not, here's a few ideas. First set of ideas here is food attacks. I really like the idea of edible attacks, and there were several people last year that made iced cookies of people's characters. That is super cool. But some other food attacks you could do is decorated cakes, pancake art. I know that was a pretty popular trend for a while to make pancake art out of, like, Disney characters and stuff. You could do ravioli attacks. You can custom shape ravioli. You can dye the pasta. I really like ravioli. I want to see some ravioli attacks. I'm probably gonna do a couple of ravioli attacks. Some talented individuals could do latte art, and then you could also make themed drinks around the characters. You could also make a themed meal, kind of like those pop-up cafes in Japan, or Pokemon Cafe, you know, also located in Japan, or the game. There's some cute meals in the game. I did see one person that would make meals and then share the recipes for those meals as their attacks, and that is so cool. These attacks could also be drawn if you're not that good at cooking, or you just don't have the energy to cook. Kind of related to that, you could make a drawing or a sculpture of someone's character as one of those half-melted popsicles that are based on a character that you get at an ice cream truck. That could be funny. Okay, going on to something a little less edible. Household items. Soap attacks, I think would be cool. I used to do a lot of soap carvings when I was younger. You know, just treat a block of soap like a block of wood and create a sculpture out of it. And that could be cool. You could also make like custom molds for your own soaps or do the whole pouring and stuff. I know that's a lot of work, so I'm not expecting to see any of those. Little bonus with that is that you could choose a soap scent that kind of ties into the character, whether it's their favorite smell or they're associated with a specific flower, maybe a sweet food, because there's not very many savory scented soaps. Except there are some bacon ones, but I digress. There's a lot of potential with it. Similar to the soap is you could do candle art, again, creating a custom mold, or just carving into the candle, picking a specific scent. Plenty of possibility with that. Something you could do where you need to check character permissions first to make sure this is okay is basically making a sona for a character, like turning them into a worm, My Little Pony, Warrior's Cat, Wings of Fire, etc. If you're doing it from a specific fandom, I suggest making sure that the owner of the character is also in that fandom, just to make sure they appreciate it. But again, some people don't like redesigns of their characters, so just check permissions first. Another where you are definitely gonna have to check permissions first, maybe even ask the person, is creating preserved versions of their OCs. I also suggest not doing this with humanoid OCs because it could be a bit much. But what I mean by this is like making faux wet specimens or trophy mounts, taxidermy, that sort of thing. Although if you go full taxidermy, that might as well just be a plushie at that point. But wet specimens and taxidermy mounts do bother some people a lot. So again, if it's not explicitly stated, you might want to check if it's okay beforehand, because it is a little bit of a different attack. You could also do like pinned bugs sort of thing. If you want to go with the preserved idea and don't want to ask more than just checking permissions, maybe you could do a fossil version of a character. Fossils, as far as I know, don't really bother people. Something that kind of ties into the preserved idea, because this is basically scientific based, is creating a dossier of the character. kind of like Ark or, I don't know. Ark is the most prevalent one in my mind. Finally, another fun, unique idea could be making a vivarium for the character. You know, you take one of those tanks that's too small to actually keep a living animal in, or just a glass container, and you can either entirely sculpt the environment they're in, or actually put plants in there, put rocks in there, so on and so forth, and a little sculpture of the character. This can be really fun to tie in the environment that they live in. This could just be a diorama, but I think specifically being in a tank really fits for more animalistic characters like dragons, dinosaurs, so on and so forth. But that's pretty much all of the ideas I have right now, but if you have any, please share them. And also, please feel free to share your artfight username in the comments. I know there's still plenty of people looking for someone to attack. And if you're interested in supporting me financially, I have an Etsy and Ko-Fi linked in the description down below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you're feeling gracious, please subscribe. But other than that, have a safe day, and I'll see you later.